Hi. Excuse me. La 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 la. What's it called? I like to start off with, hi, how am I doing? And also, how are you doing? What's it called? If you guys recall, I couldn't stream yesterday. Had like zero time. Ooh, should do that now. Which is fine. I studied for my exam for this morning, and I'm actually quite happy with the results. Honestly, I'm gonna be frank, that exam was hard. There were like some super tricky questions, and I guess the professor's wording was kind of interesting. Not really what I'm used to, not really what I expected the exam questions to look like. But it did, kind of make it fun. It was just kind of tricky to answer. So I actually ended up getting a 35 out of 40, which is a score that is decent, is good. I'm quite proud of it. I'm actually my initial response was I'm relieved because I was really afraid I was going to do really, really bad. Like if I got anything lower than a 30, I would have been devastated. But actually I did pretty well. So, and then later on during the day, I learned from a bunch of my classmates that he was going to curve the exam, which is always nice to hear. And lo and behold, my grade got curved up to a 39 out of 40. So I'm definitely not disappointed. There were a couple of students that got like 37s, 38s, very close to 40, but majority of the students got like below 30 basically. Like I think one student, sometimes I forget that, sometimes I feel like they're usually younger than me, so I call them kids, but they're not kids, they're my peers, they're students, and so, yeah, one of the students, he was just like, he got an 8, and I was just like, damn, that's really not good at all. And like everyone was kind of happy with the curve, and I'm very happy because then that means like the pressure's kind of off for my next exam and for the final exam. So I feel pretty good. What's it called? Also today I'm also gonna work on my honors research project. We have to write the abstract this quarter, and then I also have an oral presentation this quarter, and that's kind of nerve-wracking. I'd say I'm a pretty good public speaker. I'm obviously speaking to a camera right now, which is, crazy to think about. But yeah, so I'm going to be working on that primarily today. Reading through articles, taking notes, organizing my research, just so that I can write the initial abstract, which is usually about 250 words to maybe 500, depending on the kind of paper you're writing. And I'm sorry, I keep clearing my throat. So that's what I'm gonna focus on today. But title of my video is Hella Imposter Syndrome, and that's because part of the project is speaking with faculty mentor, and also working with other graduate students. And so I was finally able to meet with a grad student, which is really exciting, and it was super cool to meet her, and I'm really excited to work with her on my research project. But part of the project involves IRB, so Institutional Review Board. We had to fill out a form, and guess whose name is on that form as the researcher? Mine. And it's funny because today in my honors class, we were discussing imposter syndrome. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw my name on that form, I kind of had like an out-of-body experience. And I was just like, is that really my name? My name, Nancy. It's pretty wild. And I am very proud and happy and nervous, but excited. And I love to celebrate my small wins, and that's definitely a big win for me. And most of all, I just look forward to getting it finished, doing it all, wrapping it all together, the process and everything. And so yeah, so feeling some intense imposter syndrome today. But yeah, So I think that's my story time for today. I will go ahead and start working on my abstract. It's only 250 words, but it's hard to condense everything you want to say to 250 words. So yeah, we're gonna try and do that today. I'm so sorry, I keep coughing. Okay, now I'm just hot. Okay, so yeah, let's get to it. I feel like it's a pretty good introduction, right? What was I doing? So like earlier today, all I was doing, because I'm kind of building off / creating my own research project, I'm gonna be, well, in case you want to know what my research project is, it's gonna be based on microaggressions and how microaggressions impact racial minorities, specifically the Latinx population. And I had already been working on this particular subject in my last spring semester in community college. So I already have like a foundational base for my research project, which is very helpful because I'm not starting from scratch. And so, yeah, microaggressions and how they affect cognitive abilities. I don't know if I should be talking about it because it's still underway or it's still undergoing. Like, it might change, it might morph, it might become something else. I don't know yet, but that's where I'm starting right now. It's my child. Oh, I'm so nervous. So yeah, I'll be working on that today. Before I was using OneNote to organize all of my journal articles, and now I'm switching over to Notion. So I'm going to be figuring out how to organize everything the way that I want it to be organized. So before going live, like I was just getting all of the journal articles, and I'm going to be reading through them today, annotating, creating, because I think later on, they want me to, They want me to create a bibliography, but not just a bibliography, like they actually want me to have like 10 citations minimum or something, and then, no, that's something else. It says list 10 or more citations with 3 annotations. Annotations are like, it's like a small paragraph describing what that article that you're citing is about. It's like a small summary. There we go. Like trying to find the words. Yeah, my throat is really... Maybe because I just ate cheese. Okay, let's see. I didn't do that today. That's due today? Oof. I'll work on that tomorrow. I will work on that tomorrow. Okay. Trying to get my head settled. Literature review. Oh, right. Okay. I need to input everything in here. Okay, I'm gonna try to be quiet. I'm sorry. Oh wait, I think I saw someone. Oh, hi! Thank you for watching my live stream. Thank you. Oh man, I forgot I was gonna do that.
Mm. There's tags. Oh, that might actually work. Let's see. Blindness. Right privilege. What else? I feel like most of them are going to be about racism. Ooh. Here, pushed. This is going to be 2017. What else should I include? Maybe a citation. I just have it written out already. That would be helpful. Violence in the media. Yeah. Nice. Okay. So I feel like that's one of the major limitations with Notion that I'm going to encounter. And that is that I can't really make any edits to the PDFs. I can embed them so I can view them, but I can't really like edit them. I can make comments, but if it's a really long PDF, like, so that's why I'd been using OneNote. Let me see. Wow, okay. Okay. Let's make copy paste, which might actually be helpful. I think what I can do is if I find like a sentence or a quote or something that's like of importance within the text, I'll just copy paste it down here. And then I can write comments on the text, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I can write comments on the text and then I can put in like page 6, paragraph 3. And then that'll tell me where it is, and then I can go to that page if I need to find it again. Sounds good. Okay, and then I have citations for all of these already. Maybe DOI. If I have one. topics for review. Yeah, I wrote a research proposal on this already. A whole 10 pages, but not 10, minus the first and then the 8 pages. And this was on the psychological impact of microaggressions encountered in professional environments for Latinx women. But I won't be using this because the whole premise of the new paper I'm writing is completely different. But I think I might still be able to write or include the quotes that I've already used in similar contexts. For my new paper. And then a lot of the research that they're currently quoting or citing, sorry, not quoting, citing. Quoting is for like English classes, not for science classes, sort of. Don't quote me on that. They're really out of date. Like, the articles were from 2007. I think the most recent article was like 2013, maybe? It's like, damn, okay. It's a long time ago. And this one has a DOI. Looks good so far. Jones. Jones. Wait, I don't have Jones. Where's Jones? What? No! I thought I had gotten all of them. Multi-dimensional models of microinformations, Jones. Oh wait, I think that is this one. Impress. Okay. Oh, I don't have the title. I need it. How's everyone? Multi-dimensional models of micro aggressions and micro affirmations. This is, don't think I know when this was written. What did I write? Oh, 2018. See, even that's like recent. More recent than the research they have. It's funny because I'm gonna have to like redo all of this again when I input it into their Excel sheet. But this is for my sake. This one. Okay. Yeah, that article was like a godsend. My professor had recommended that I read through that one at the time. This one's open. I didn't do Milkman. Did I not end up using Milkman? I didn't. What was it about? What happens before and after? Oh, yeah. But I knew I would like this article. Let me finish open. See, this one's from 2019. Super recent. So the importance of research that's recent is that you have like, I guess, up-to-date information. I think that's more important for like STEM related research. I don't know. But recency is important. Like, you wouldn't have an article that was written before, I guess, 2010 maybe, for like if you're writing about something today. But I didn't do Milkman, so I don't have their let me just make it. That I'm having like flashbacks. 2015. And then what happens before? Okay, copy paste it. Yes. Okay. What happens before? Field, exploring how pain, representation. Representation differentially shape bias on the pathway into organizations. Period. And then this circles in the Journal of Applied Psychology. Watch, if I end up in applied psychology, I don't want to, but I could. And then volume 106 and pages 1678 through 1712. That, and then the DOI. APA citations are so much easier. I love it. They're like super straightforward. Is that like already done? Experimentation, bias. What's in corporate? I don't know about leadership. That one was more like it's not a story. It's not an experience. It's a proper term. This one didn't have the DOI. Did it really not have one? I think this one was a textbook. Oh yeah, and then for this one they included a YouTube video describing how to explain microaggressions. She makes an analogy about microaggressions being similar to a mosquito bite. Like one mosquito bite, it's kind of like whatever, you know, like, oh, it's itchy, I can make it through the day. But now imagine you know, had like 6 mosquito bites. It starts to get a little overwhelming. Now imagine like your entire leg is covered in mosquito bites. It might make you a little crazy. That's what microaggressions are. Yeah. If you've experienced microaggressions, I'm so sorry. I hope that eventually we can do better. I think it's important for people to understand what microaggressions are and to realize I think it's really just about being knowledgeable. Not knowledgeable, it's about being aware of how your words have an impact on other people, especially when it comes to things related to your ethnicity, to your gender, how people view you racially, and just whether you have a disability, whether you're LGBTQ, all of that stuff exists. And I think people just don't know that it's a thing. Or, because yeah, microaggressions aren't really something that, how do I explain? It doesn't always have to be intentional. It's not like someone saying something mean for the sake of being mean. Sometimes you don't realize that what you're saying is actually very hurtful. Or it's something so small, but then the person experiences it multiple times a day, or multiple times a week, or multiple times within an hour. And it can make people crazy. I don't mean crazy in like a bad way. I just mean crazy as in, you know, their responses aren't happy. Their responses, they're upset. It's not crazy. It makes people upset. There we go. That's a better way of saying it. Right. So that's my research. I feel like I should go back and read all of them again to refresh my memory. There it is. So it is Milkman. Oh, I didn't use them. So I have it in 2 places. Dude, my professor was so cool. She wrote a paper on police brutality. I'm just like, damn. And just reading it and then reading her words, and I'm like, oh my god. It's like having a crush on someone. You're just like, you're so smart. It's like the best thing ever. And how many pages is this? Her references is 2 pages long. Her paper is 18 pages. I mean, no, 16 pages. My god. That's gonna be me. Okay. These are 2 that I found that I thought were kind of interesting. Associations between microaggressions and adjustment outcomes. That's right, this one. Okay. so that I don't forget that I've already looked at these. Narrative. That's the word I was looking for. Narrative. It's published in 2018. Who's the author? Lee. Awesome. Ooh, I need to make a thingy for them. This was published Psychological Bulletin. I don't know what to write. I'll just write the DOI for now. These were their articles. There's 6 of them. Oh my god. And these I definitely need to read. Y'all, I'm already tired. I haven't read anything. I haven't analyzed anything. Nothing. I'm already tired. 2014. There. So if you're ever gonna start research, I recommend getting all your articles together and then writing your citations out so then you can just copy and paste later. It saves you a bunch of time. It saves a bunch of time in the beginning, then you don't have to worry about it later. The only thing is that I'm gonna have to go back in later and like do all the italic stuff. But it's better than having to type it out. I forget how to do that when they have two last names. Wait. this one by Sue, which is the same author for, I don't know, mine was Wells. Never mind. Never mind. Sue is like super influential, I think, when it comes to microaggressions. Yeah, Daryl Wing Sue. That name sounds so familiar. But I don't have anything written by them. Those are a lot of authors. I forgot how to... You're supposed to put like at all after however many authors. Owl.Purdue, my best friend. Oh crap, no. Three to 20 authors. Oh, more than 20 authors. Okay. So we have to put all of them? Oh, it's for comments. Oopsie. And then they change the rules on you like every year. actually have to list all of them. Oh. That's so many. Oh. Not so many. Ooh, sorry. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names. Oh my god. I am up for the challenge. W. I am up for the challenge. Capo di Lupo. I think I read this one. I feel like I did. It feels so familiar. Capo di Lupo. CM. Torino. GC. Uchetti. Right. JN. Holders in this one. Huh. My holder? The other holder? I mean, he's not my holder, but... Holder. It is him! Wait, her? Okay. Oh, it's Aisha. No, it's a her. M. E. Little doll. And finally, S. Clean M. This is 2007. I'm pretty sure I read this one. I have italices. What? Beautiful. Okay. Wow, this one's straight from Howard University. That's crazy. That's so cool. Okay. One, two, three authors. Yay. So is that on? Yeah, make sure to get that. Oh. Susan D. Seha. M. And your soul T. This one's in 2000. These three. Education. Journal of Counseling Psychology. Exciting. Single, Nadal, Kevin, L. I'm excited to read this one. And the last one. I'm so tired already. So many articles. 16. Oh my god. Okay, I've read the majority of these, so I'm gonna go ahead and read I kind of want to read this one. I should read some of the ones that they already have. I think I'll start with the one that I actually want to read. Which I think is going to be the critical race theory or the racial and ethnic microaggression scale. Actually, I want to read this one. Oh my god, I'm so tired. And now I'm going to read. I'm probably going to read out loud because reading out loud wakes me up or / helps me stay awake. Fall asleep. Okay. I'm gonna make this work so I can. There we go. So let's see. God, it's so small. Kevin L. Nadal, City University of New York, John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Oh, I forgot to check on you. How's everyone doing? I'm tired. Okay. Alright. Racial and ethnic microaggression scale. It's so pretty seeing the citation there. It looks so official. Okay. Come on. It doesn't help that my tea had chamomile in it. Racial microaggressions are subtle statements and behaviors that unconsciously communicate denigrated messages to people of color. In recent years, the theoretical taxonomy and subsequent qualitative studies have introduced the types of microaggressions that people of color experience. In the present study, college and internet-based samples of African Americans, Latinos, Latinas, Asian Americans, and multiracial participants, number 661, so we had 661 participants, were used to develop and validate the racial and ethnic microaggression scales, REMS. In study 1, an exploratory principal components analysis, number 443, yielded a 6-factor model. That's important. Unless I changed everything to... Oh, that's so much better. Let's see. Huh? Oh. It's like, what? Okay. Yielded a 6-factor model. A, assumptions of inferiority. B, second-class citizen. And assumptions of criminality. Oh, that's horrible. Oh my God. C, micro-invalidations. Yeah. D, exoticization, assumptions of similarity. Ugh, I've experienced that. Oh my God. Oh, that makes my skin crawl. Oh, okay. E, environmental microaggressions. And F, workplace and school microaggressions. With a Cronbach's alpha of 0.912 for the overall models and subscales ranging from 0.783 to 0.873. Wow, okay, that's confusing. In study 2, a confirmatory factor analysis supported the 6-factor model with a Cronbach's alpha of 0.892. So I'm assuming that the 0.892 is the validity of the data. And 0.892, let me tell you, that's a pretty strong positive correlation right there. Further analysis indicate that the REMS is a valid measure of racial microaggressions as evidenced by high correlations with existing measures of racism and participants' feedback. Future research directions and implications for practice are discussed. Wow! That is crazy. Okay, 6-factor model, assumptions of inferiority, second-class citizenship. I don't need to read this again. This is just the abstract. Like that, okay, so like that is an abstract. And it's a solid one. It's short, it's concise, it tells you what you need to know about what the paper is going to be about. I have to write something like that. Confirmatory analysis. All right, let's read into it. Let's learn some stuff. I can make it big. Okay. That's all let's be doing. Lame. Okay, whatever. All right. There have been numerous studies that have demonstrated the negative impacts that racism and racial discrimination may have on individuals' physical and mental health. What? There have been numerous studies that have demonstrated the negative impacts that racism and racial discrimination may have on individuals' physical and mental health. Studies have reported the relationship between racial discrimination and psychological stress. Yes, I've read so many papers like that. High blood pressure, whoa, okay. Depression, okay. Sleeping problems, substance abuse, eating disorders, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Given these factors, it is clear that understanding and preventing racial discrimination is important in order to promote the physical and mental health of people of color. sorry, there was like a, okay. Moreover, it is necessary for psychologists to be cognizant of the types of racial discrimination their clients of color may experience, as well as the ways their clients may cope with such experiences. Oh my god, that's exactly what I want to write about. Although racism has been found to have detrimental effects on people of color, researchers have suggested that interpersonal racism has decreased, as exemplified by the fact that race-based hate crimes are viewed as socially unacceptable and have reduced significantly over the past few decades. That is true. That doesn't mean racism has gone away. So, although it may have been commonplace for lynchings, I should have put a trigger warning on this video. Trigger warning starting now. I'm so sorry. I won't read it out loud. I won't read the bad words aloud, okay? So, although it may have been commonplace for blank, and blank to have occurred 30 years ago, it is less socially acceptable to condone violent acts of racism in contemporary times. Many authors have posited that because the United States has become more politically correct, most individuals are much more aware of racism and tend to avoid engaging in racist acts. I mean, yeah, but people still do it, and it's horrible. However, although individuals may not consciously be racist, their biases and prejudices, so this is the important thing about microaggressions, may manifest in more subtle and unconscious ways. For example, although most people self-report that they are not racist and that they uphold egalitarian views, they may unconsciously maintain negative feelings toward racial and ethnic minority groups. For instance, you're walking down the street and you see a person of color. They could be Latino, they could be Black, they could be any other ethnicity. And for some reason you feel scared or nervous or something. And so you decide to cross to the other side of the street instead of walking next to them. That is a microaggression, and that is a subtle form and unconscious racism. Anyway, okay. It sucks. It really sucks. Okay. They may unconsciously maintain negative feelings toward racial and ethnic minority groups. As a result, although interpersonal racism may no longer be as overt as it may have been in the past, racism may now take on more subtle forms. Yes, it's true. This new form of discrimination has been identified as symbolic racism, modern racism, aversive racism, and racial microaggressions. I didn't know that. That's cool. As a result, subtle forms. I like that. In recent years, there has been an increase in the term microaggressions in the fields of psychology, education, and counseling. Sue and colleagues have described several categories of microaggressions that exist, including racial microinsults, i.e., verbal and nonverbal behaviors that send denigrating messages to people of color, and racial micro-invalidations, unconscious verbal statements in which the perpetrator may have good intentions but which convey negative messages to people of color. 7 categories. Where are they? Oh, those! Wait, I thought those were the... I thought those were... Just keep reading. Oh, not 7. Several. My bad. Okay, has described several categories. Wow, I'm dumb. That exist, including my... So dumb. Verbal statements in which the perpetrator may have good intentions but which convey negative messages, yada yada. Presented an original taxonomy of racial microaggressions, citing various themes of ways that microaggressions may manifest in everyday life. One theme includes alien in one's own land, experiences in which people of color may feel like perpetual foreigners. Yeah. Okay, like I struggle with this sometimes too. But that's just because like I try to be aware and like I guess sometimes what's that feeling? Like it's and this isn't bad. Like I understand that like what I'm trying to do isn't bad. Because it's usually in my head and like I'm just preparing myself in the case that the person is a foreigner, and then when they're not a foreigner it's just like, oh okay, yeah. This is primarily, I think it's important to talk about these things, right? I'm just hoping not to sound like an asshole. It's kind of like whenever a customer comes into the store, because I work in customer service, and like if a customer comes through the door and I'm about to help them, they haven't said hi or anything, we haven't spoken, and let's say they're Asian, and so sometimes they don't know how to speak English well, sometimes their English is fluent as heck, but like I always have it ready in my mind to like be prepared to like interact with them, I guess, but not in a bad way. Okay, anyway, alien in one's own land. Okay, for example, telling an Asian American you speak good English. I did not read ahead, oh my god. I've never said that to someone unless like they're actually trying to learn the language and like they're asking me for help, in which case I will compliment them. But I don't think this is meant for like a foreigner. I think this is meant for someone who's like actually born here, and like for some reason you have to tell them like you speak good English because you have this assumption that they're not from here. Okay, that's something different. For example, telling could be considered a microaggression because such a statement implies that the Asian American is foreign born, although she or he was born in the United States. Another theme is assumption of criminality, experience in which people of color are stereotyped to be deviant or criminals. For example, a store owner who follows an African American around in a store while she or he is shopping could be considered a microaggression because such behavior insinuates that African Americans are going to steal from them. That's the worst one, honestly. Other themes include second-class citizen. Okay, no, this one's pretty bad too. When customers of color receive substandard service to whites. Yeah. Ascription of intelligence. When people of color are assumed to be less intellectual or uneducated. Yeah, that's horrible. Assumptions of inferiority, e.g. when people of color are assumed to be poor or hold substandard careers. Also horrible. Colorblindness, when someone claims that they don't see race. Okay, and a denial of racial reality, when someone defensively denies that she or he is racist or engaged in racist behaviors. So like when people deny it. Denial of racial reality. It happens. Some people don't know it. What's worse is when you explain it to them and they're like, no, because they're like in denial and they're, trying to save face. That's when it gets worse. Like if you're learning from it, if you're trying to figure out like what you're doing wrong, then that's the right response. The better response. Maybe not the right response, the better response. I need to read this for myself. I feel like I'm reading it for you guys. I'm so sorry. Ooh, it's almost time for a break. Okay. A number of qualitative studies have examined racial microaggressions experienced by African Americans, Latinos, Asian Americans, indigenous peoples, and students of color. The original microaggressions taxonomy presented by some colleagues has led to literature on microaggressions toward other populations, including multiracial people, women, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people, religious minorities, and persons with disabilities. This literature supported that people of color and other minority groups experience a number of microaggressions in their everyday lives, and that these microaggressions have negative impacts on their mental health. So our paper wants to talk about cognitive effects. Despite the positive contributions to the literature, qualitative methods have been used all of these aforementioned studies in all of these with a often with small sample sizes. Thus, it is imperative for researchers to produce quantitative studies to empirically support the presence of microaggressions and their influences on mental health, physical health, and other variables like self-esteem, self-efficacy, and performance. Okay. Oh, the method. I forget how many pages this is. I think it's only 10. It's not bad. Harrell created the Daily Life Experiences Measure, which consists of 20 items and measures microaggressions that may occur in everyday life. However, there are no subscales in this measure, and it does not reflect the breadth and categories of microaggressions that have been highlighted in the microaggression taxonomy and subsequent studies. Moreover, other instruments that measure modern racism, perceived ethnic discrimination, and race-related stress may include some examples of microaggressions, but do not take account of the types of microaggressions that have been described in recent literature. Environmental microaggressions or microinvalidations. Thus, the purpose of the present study was to create a quantitative instrument on racial microaggressions that could measure the microaggressions that people of color experience in their everyday lives. One principal components analysis, initial reliability and validity. This first study described the development of items for measure and racial microaggressions, which includes exploratory principal component analysis as well as initial reliability. The measure also described ways that validity was tested, namely through participants' evaluations, correlations with the racism and life experiences scale brief. I also described 2 scoring methods that were used. So like my question is, because we're obviously going to use this scale, the REM scale, should I use other scales, such as this one? Evaluations and correlations of the racism and life experiences scale brief. Alright, methods, development of initial pool of items on the basis of the original taxonomy and racial microaggressions presented by some colleagues, as well as the previous research on African Americans, Latinos, Asian Americans, indigenous people, and students of color. Team of 13 researchers gathered to create an initial pool of items for racial microaggressions measure. The description of the research team is highlighted below. First, the researchers worked autonomously with the task of producing as many items as they could using the previously described themes. As stimulation, for example, with the theme aliens in one's own land, the researcher independently produced as many items that corresponded with this theme. Using the 8 aforementioned categories, each researcher noted about 50 to 100 possible items independently. Items? Does he mean questions? What does he mean? Because, like, okay, part of my thing is, like, I need to create a scale. Not a scale, a questionnaire. I want to create a questionnaire. And I don't know how to do that. I need to figure out how to make one. After working independently, creating individual lists, the team gathered together and discussed each of their lists of items. The recorder took note of all the items and made note of repeated items, as well as items that the team consensually decided to discard. Then the team voted on the items that were most representative of the 8 original categories. There were approximately 15 to 20 items per category. A sub-team of 4 researchers worked together to discuss grammatical structure and wording of each item and presented a list of 140 items to the team. team discussed the items and offered minor suggestions. The list was then given to an auditor. This Saturday, professor, who is an expert in microaggression literature, worked independently from the team and checked the representativeness of each category. Checks and balances. Did the items characterize each category effectively? By items, do they mean questions? And the grammatical structure unity check. Upon receiving the auditor's feedback, the team removed some of the confusing or inappropriate items as recommended, resulting in the final list of 131 items. Finally, the team randomized the items into one random and uncategorized list, which is henceforth referred to as the Racial and Ethnic Microaggression Scale Initial Version. Okay. Participants. Got my ears. The sample included a total of 443 participants. 335 were women, 108 were men, and none identified as transgender. The mean age of the sample was 24.83, SD of 8. So then the oldest member was like in their 30s or 40s. Oh, with a range of 18 through 66. It makes me so happy that I'm taking a stats class right now and I can understand what these stats are telling me. I feel so happy. Okay. The sample is racially diverse with 34% Asian Americans, 31% Latinos, 80% Black African Americans, 11 multiracial, 6 who did not identify with any of these categories who did not report race. Report. The sample is also ethnically diverse, with the largest samples including Filipino American at 21%, African American 12%, Dominican American 7%, interesting, Puerto Rican 6%, Mexican Chicano American 5%. There needs to be a Central American category. And 2 ethnicities or more. 85% of the sample identified as heterosexual, 6 identified as gay lesbian, 3% as bisexual, and the remaining in other ways. The largest religious groups were Catholic. Yeah, most Filipinos are Catholic. Christian, 19%. And, most Latinos are also Catholic. And agnostic or without a religion, 15%. Fascinating. 58% identified as living in a northeastern state. Northeastern, East Coast. Wow, that's a large percent. 20% of the participants were from the West Coast, 14 were from the Midwest, and the remainder were from the Southeast, or Hawaii. The sample had a diverse range of educational levels. About 49% had a high school diploma, 11 had an associate's, 23 had a bachelor's, and 18 had a graduate degree. Yeah, diverse range indeed. Finally, the majority of the sample was born within the United States, 76.5%, whereas 22 of the participants were born outside of the U.S. Recruitment. Participants who identified as Black, African American, Latina, Latino, Asian American, Pacific Islander, Arab American, or multiracial were eligible to participate in the study. Participants were recruited in 2 ways: through a Psychology 101 undergraduate pool, and B, through online listservs and community websites. Okay. Students from the Psych 101 class were required to participate in research experiments as part of class. These participants received credit for attending yada yada. Ooh. A snowball sampling methodology. Snowball. Why does that sound familiar? Was encouraged, in which participants were asked to advertise the study to their respective members. Snowball sampling methodology is basically, okay, you know about it, tell your friends and family, and then, what's it called? Tell them to tell their friends and family, and then tell them to tell their friends and family. That's a snowball effect. Measures demographic sheet. Consisted of 131 items. Respondents were instructed to indicate the number of times that a microaggression occurred in the past 6 months, with 1, I did not experience this event in the past 6 months. 2, I experienced this event. Ooh, this is a scale. The fancy. Holy cow. What page is this? 472. Dude, this guy is so cool. I like his work. In the future, I might be known as a microaggressions expert, which is kind of fascinating. To like think that that could actually be me. It's kind of weird too. Okay. The Rayless B. I think that's the other one. The short, more widely used version. Oh, okay. Line item is from the software measure perceptions of racism by a person of color, and the impact and stress that racism has on an individual. Blah 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 blah. Oh. Don't do what? Hi. Don't do what? You didn't say. Homework? Yes, homework. What's my homework? Jordan. It's actually time for a break. Don't do what? I'm curious now. Where did you go? Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. I just saw it. I'm sorry. That was 11 minutes ago. I'm so late. I really do need to figure out the alerts, like to hear noises, because I don't hear anything. Was he telling me not to do my homework? I have to. I'm trying to get straight A's, man. Like, I can't even, like, pop out the chat. I think I've tried before. It doesn't let me. We can do this. Wait. I have like 2 Jordans that follow me now. Unless they're the same person. It could be. Okay. So it's technically time for a break. But like, I should take a break, huh? I really should. I should. Unless you want to chat, and then in which case, chat me. I'll take a break. Okay, I'm back. I may or may not need to end my stream early, kind of have like an emergency, but I don't know yet. So I'm waiting. But actually, I think it might be a good idea. No, I should probably end the stream just in case. I don't want to keep you guys hanging like, oh, when's she gonna end it? Yeah, so I have an emergency. I have to go, and everything's fine, but yeah. I can't stay on. Sorry to end it early, but thank you for joining me this time around. It was only for like an hour and a half, so it wasn't that long. Hopefully next time's a little longer. You can still hear me, right? Yes. Okay. Anyway, so like, follow, subscribe, comment, join me on my next live stream, which the next consistent live stream will be Monday. But anyway, until then, bye and happy studying.